With the recent increase in violence, both by police officers against citizens and by citizens against police, America is in the midst of increasingly intense political debates about race and policing. Here's what UGA students had to say about the issues.
I think that they're doing important work in raising awareness of police violence and brutality that has not been as discussed as it should be.
Black Lives Matter is an important movement, especially given what's going on right now. I don't understand people being against the Black Lives Matter movement. I don't understand why people are offended by it.
The movement is not just towards police brutality, it's just for all equality for all people.
And while I think it definitely has extremists to the group and people that I wouldn't condone their actions for, I think what the movement stands for as a whole is calling attention to something that deserves attention.
You're not going to say all houses matter when a house is on fire. You're not going to be like, oh, what about that house? When one house is on fire. So that's why we should focus on Black Lives Matter, and it's a legit movement. And there can be more peaceful ways to go about it, but it's trial and error. It's new territory for everyone right now.
And I think that once one happens, you get more exposure to all of them. Everyone's kind of focused on it. And I also think that police officers get more tense and they're more angry about it, so violence is more likely to happen.
What we have is a lot of people on both sides that aren't talking to each other, and so a new story will come out and both sides will settle their facts in the first day instead of listening to each other, and then basically for the next few weeks it's just rhetoric and yelling back and forth.
Social media has a big role in it. Mostly all of the videos that are captured of the police brutality, people from all nationalities, all countries, everywhere across the world, they can all see what's going on. And it's not just people in the United States that's watching.
I think we need to try and hear each other out, and rather than make it kind of a one fighting the other, make it people listening to each other and understanding why maybe Black lives feel like they haven't been mattering to the police, and why the police feel like they need to be responding more violently, if it's fair to say that the police in general have been more violent.
I think it's just going to take time, really, for maybe 2 or 3 generations down the road where racial biases aren't so strong, and it's going to take us to teach our kids hey, we're all the same, and a black person isn't necessarily more dangerous than anybody else.
It's difficult, but I feel like one way we can start is by the way we train police officers. I feel like they're trained to kind of consider anything as a threat, and they really need to consider the safety of citizens of all races and ethnicities before they consider their own safety necessarily.
All the institutions, we all need to come together and just communicate, our problems and why we're feeling this way, why police want to target black people in particular instead of any other race.
I think it first starts with an understanding, but I also think that we need to keep the police accountable, so that means training, that means reform in the way we handle these sort of cases, special prosecutors, other things like that. I think that lawmakers and people who talk about keeping families in their thoughts and prayers actually need to go this step further and take action against what the police are doing, because it's wrong.